Hey readers, we're back and it is Wednesday and I'm going to be telling you all about the books I have finished reading, the books I'm currently reading, and the books I will be reading in the future. So happy Wednesday to you all. First book I have for you is Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams, and it is shiny indeed. It is a borrowed library book, but this was on my list of June TBR from Black writers, and this is similar to, if you've read or seen Bridget Jones' Diary, this is very similar to that, as a woman in her late 20s just got broken up with by her white boyfriend, and she's trying to figure out her life. She lives in London. I feel like this book covered a lot of different topics. It was comical for the most part, but it also hit on mental health issues and just trying to find out one's identity and place, and just stereotyping of, in this case, being a Black woman. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and I feel it's such a quick read. I finished it in like 2 or 3 days. Like I was mentioning before, super funny, but a lot of good themes, especially nowadays with Black Lives Matter, even though that's not new. It's come more into the front of the American society and now the world as an issue, and I think this is a good representation of what Black women face. Up next we have Well-Read Black Girl by Glory Edim, and this is a collection of essays. So Glory started the Well-Read Black Girl book club, I think back in 2015, and it's just exploded from there, just featuring books by Black authors that have Black characters as the main character, and it's all about how we want to see ourselves represented in the books that we read. So the writers that contribute to this anthology talk about the first time that they saw themselves in books. A lot of them reference Alice Walker, James Baldwin, Bell Hooks, and some other more famous Black writers, and it's just cool to see how they've taken those stories and kind of created their own to make sure that folks see themselves in stories that they read. This I did read in one day. It was pretty quick. Like I said, they're short essays. I gave it a 3 out of 5 for Goodreads, and I think I definitely know I have a huge list of TBR books that have been added because of the list that were mentioned in here. Some books I'd heard of before, but other backlisted books from authors that I've heard of in the past or have read their more famous works. Last book I read over this weekend is called A Taste of Sage by Yaffa Santos, and this was sent to me by Harper Perennial, since I am one of their representatives, and this I absolutely loved. It's super cute contemporary romance about a chef, and her restaurant unfortunately had closed, so she is now a sous chef for another gentleman who does more French cuisine. And what we find is that she has an ability that lets her feel the emotions of whoever has made the dish that she's eating. So for example, when she eats one of the dishes that the chef in the restaurant she works at now, she realizes it was made from his mother-like figure because she can feel the warmth from the dish, and he admits later that it was his housekeeper that had made the dish. So she has a unique ability. It gets her into a little bit of trouble halfway through the book, but it's cool to see her independence and how strong she is in the kitchen, and very determined to be successful. This is one I almost finished in a day. I read it most of Sunday during my tech-free day, but on Sundays I play beach volleyball, so that opened up again after the quarantine, or as something that we can do socially distant. So I went and did that and was 3/4 of the way through, but I finished it on Monday instead. So now I'm currently reading The Lost and Found Bookshop by Susan Wiggs, and this was one of the giveaways for Goodreads that I won. So this is one of 2 that I've won through Goodreads. So this doesn't come out until July, so next month. So I wanted to read it ahead of time. So I literally just started it earlier this week. So it's about a woman who inherits her mom's bookshop, but also has to take care of her ailing grandfather. So I'm excited. Books about books. I did a post about this not too long ago, but you can't go wrong with books about books. So I'm excited to dive more into this one, and then I'll probably have a review up before the release official release date in July and then repost it again, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one. Last but not least, we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and again, shiny cover. It's from the library with the plastic coating. Sometimes I know it's there for a reason to protect the book, but I'm like, it takes away from how pretty the covers are. So this, I'm really not too sure what this is about. I've seen this on so many different TBRs, on different book lists as a fantasy, YA fantasy. So not usually my type, but I'm trying to expand my book genre and experience this year, so I'm going to give this a try. I know it's part of a series. Some of the comments I've seen for it is that if you like Game of Thrones, this is the kind of book for you, so I'm a big fan of that series. I've only read the first book in that whole series, but I've seen the whole TV series. A lot of thoughts about that. But if that is the case, I'm excited to see what this one is about. So those are all the books I have for this week. I read a lot apparently this last week. I did get a few books in the mail, but those will probably be on my July reads. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the year. I'm going to do a mid-year freakout tag video closer to the end of this month to see kind of where I'm at with the first 6 months of the year done, what's been my favorite book, what book surprised me, and then what books I'm looking forward to for the last half of the year. But this is super fun. I love being able to do quick reviews like this. Of course, I'll post a lot of the quotes I found interesting from the books that I'm reading, or if I'm really resonating with a book, I'll make a fuller review, but just so you all get a sense of what I thought initially, I like to do these, and of course it's good FaceTime as well to be able to talk to you all. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, you can comment below. I'd love to hear if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts on them are, or what you're reading this week. Otherwise, I hope that I can talk to y'all later. I'm gonna read Lost and Found Bookshop. Maybe I'll get to Throne of Glass this week, but I'll let y'all know. But anyway, I'll link to all my social medias down below as well. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of my videos and my face and this angle of my bedroom that I always have, since it's the nicest part in terms of a bookworm kind of area to shoot. Hopefully that'll change as I continue to grow my bedroom and my bookshelf space. Who knows? We'll see. I made my first IKEA trip the other day. Super promising in terms of redecorating interior design, so fingers crossed. Have a great rest of your week and happy reading.